Good morning. It's August 10th, 2022, Wednesday morning. And here we're looking at the Battles of the English Civil War, a solitaire war game by Mike Lambo. So, if we look at this, it's going to say the English Civil Wars were actually a series of wars fought between the years 1642 and 1651 by the parliamentarians and the royalists. Battles of the English Civil War represents some of the key battles from the period 1862 to 1642 to 1646, commonly known as the First English Civil War. That's correct. The battles in this book are only meant to be representations of the actual battles they depict. And in some cases, deliberate changes or additions have been made to add to play experience. But they will provide some idea of what happened at each battle and allow the player to try to recreate or rewrite that history. In this game, the player will be commanding various units such as cavalry, cannons, musketeers, and pikemen, seeking to achieve various objectives. The aim of the book is to represent a clear, accessible, and quick-to-learn game so that players can get into the action quickly. It does not try to replace more complex war games, which often take many hours to learn and play. Each of the 15 battles, all right, we got 15 battles there, can be played in about 20 to 40 minutes, and each should provide plenty of replayability due to the random setup and initial forces. This book is a solitaire war game. You play the game, and the enemy is controlled by the game book. Okay, so let's take a look at it. I love the English Civil War, by the way. Of course, we're going to see battles of the English Civil War. As we already read, we're not really going to get into all the politics of it, as there's a plenty. It's hard for me not to delve into it some. It was just such a interesting whole thing because you have there's things on both sides I can agree with, right? I can see both ways. I definitely believe in the idea of the consent of the governed, right? But then you look at the Puritans and what all they did when they actually did, take over after they did execute Charles I, and of course, in the name Puritan, right? They're just they're on a purity test, so that's just how it goes. So let's look at battles here. Cool. I love pike and musket era. There's something, and I say this, and sometimes you might even want to look at me cockeyed when I say that. There's something, I don't know, elegant about the period, and I don't mean an elegance in the way of, say, Napoleonics, but still, there's a elegance to it. The control commanders had over troops and so on. There's elegance to pike and shot for sure. All right. So the rules we look like, wow. Rules look to be about 20 pages. That's pretty good for a rules section. Select the battle to play. Set up the player's units. Okay. The Battle of Edge Hill, 23rd October, 1642. Very cool. Let's read a little. King Charles I and his royalist army met the Earl of Essex in the first major conflict of the First English Civil War. Neither army was particularly experienced or well equipped, and the battle was inconclusive as many men fled the battlefield. Yeah, it's just Edge Hill. What do we got here? Let's see. Braddock down. Cool. That's a big battle. Yeah. Up in Hill. Battle of Secret Moor. Very cool. All right, so this is, wow. Let me look at that first one, which is probably going to be, what's the first battle? Let's look at some of the players, parliamentarians. Okay, so you're playing the parliamentarians. Cool. Roll 1 die for each unit. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I can. All right. Are you playing the royalist anywhere? You're playing the, yeah, playing the royalist here. Braddock down. Cool. Parliamentary. Looks like they may. Yeah. Looks like you may be playing one of the other. I'm fine with that. I'm good with that. Right. Think it's interesting. The whole period's interesting. The battles should be interesting as well. If you're going to try to do anything with shot and pack, whatever you want to call it. Wow. So you get the tree hex rules. Okay. Didn't really go over it that much. That's it. That's what we got. All right, folks. I'll jump off here and get your day started. Have a great day. Go out and find you Battles of the English Civil War. It's worth the $15 or whatever it is. It's like $1 a scenario. You can't beat that. It's an interesting time period. It's something that everyone should familiarize yourself with. If you haven't played any English Civil War games, they're a great place to start. Again, like I say, Cruel Necessity from Victory Point Games is a good little solitaire game. Unhappy King Charles. There's several. It's a great time period, and it's a great way to kind of get your feet wet in the period and learn a little bit. It's just very cool. You're fighting over, they're fighting over principally money when it comes down to it in a lot of ways, right? James was the same way. He just he was, he come from up there in Scotland and wasn't used to a parliament that was aggressive and he spent a lot of money. So did his son. What are you going to say? Although James, he keeps things together, keeps pretty much from Civil War in his time because he's just such a figure, right? He was, believe it or not, he tried to bring the sides together, the Anglicans and the Puritans together in many ways. That's really what the King James Bible was about. It wasn't supposed to be a divisive thing. It was supposed to be, it was a Puritan idea. It was supposed to be a thing to bring the sides, the Anglicans and Puritans together, because they couldn't even decide on which Bible to use, right? Because you had the old Bishop's Bible for the Anglicans, and the Puritans used the Geneva Bible. So both of those are fraught with a lot of things. The Bishop's Bible, in particular, with commentary, as Protestant Bibles did back then. They had tons of commentaries, tended to lean one side or one way or whatever. And so James publishes the Bible and without commentary. And I thought that was a neat way to do it, you make up for your own mind. But anyways, I'm getting long and winded here. Just love the period. Go get it today. Y'all have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.